The Washington Commanders might have landed one of the steals of the 2025 NFL Draft, selecting Trey Amos late in the second round out of Mississippi. And when you look at like the measurables and the production and all of that, like it all lines up for Amos to be very successful in the NFL. When you look at 2024, I mean, 3 interceptions, 13 passes defensed, and just a 54.5 passer rating allowed. And when you combine the testing, the stats, and the film, you really see a complete player at corner and somebody who could be a star and a longtime cornerback one for this team. So let's dive into the film to see what makes Amos that type of player. All right, so when it comes to Trey Amos on film, what do we see? Well, there's a lot to like in terms of the ball production and the instincts, and I think the biggest thing is ability to play in a mixture of different coverages, right? You can have him up here in press looks where he's going to be comfortable and patient and initiate contact when he should be in the stem to disrupt routes and kind of eliminate receivers from the play like he does here against Florida, where it's just the receiver has nowhere to run. And even when he's not completely erasing guys, right, he's using the sideline as his friend, but he gets a good jam in there and just stays in the hip pocket, and he's really, really patient about it too. And here again, just some initial contact and then keep bumping him throughout the route, which I think is really important as well. Good initial, contact here that he generates, good extension of just driving the receiver kind of just way off of where you want, the stem to be in terms of what the offense is asking that receiver to do. And again, initiate contact throughout the stem, make receivers feel uncomfortable when they're running these routes. And here on a deep post, generate some late contact in the stem of like not letting the receiver, get down the field cleanly, right? Like I think that is really, really important. And Amos is really good at staying patient and, again, generate a little contact there, but then turning and running on some of these vertical routes where, he just really doesn't panic. And I think even when he gets into kind of almost, essentially kind of loses sight of the receiver on this go route, you don't panic, you turn and run, you stay in the hip pocket. He has plenty of speed to handle situations like that. And same thing here of like stay patient, look for stuff over the middle of the field, and then turn and run when you need to. And he does a good job staying in phase and staying in the hip pocket there. And again, same thing where turns, kind of everything to the sideline of like, okay, I can transition back downhill if I need to. But again, it's a free play and the quarterback takes a chance here, but he doesn't panic even when the receiver gets a step. And he just does a great job timing things up and challenging the catch point for the pass breakup there. So good. And same thing, right? Little hesitation, move from the receiver, little hezzy go. And Amos stays extremely, extremely patient here on the fade route. Same thing, generate contact. So it's not, it disrupts if he's faking the fade to sell back in with the slant route, he can't go there. And again, stay physical when the receiver is going to in the red zone and a really good job challenging the catch point again. And a similar thing of like, hey, initiate the contacts and use the sideline as your friend, right? Limit the throwing windows and get yourself in really, really good position to make plays, but also just erase players from the route concept. And again, off coverage. He's been in the Nick Saban system. I think you could say that he is well aware of all the principles of certain coverages. Here again, just off coverage where he stays patient, reading the receiver, initiate some contact, and then be in phase in the hip pocket when the receiver breaks. Like just no window to throw the football. Same thing here in a little bail technique, but it does a nice job, again, initiating contact at the top. A little bit of catch technique there, but this is another one where it is catch technique where you're just catching him at the top of the route, disrupt a little bit of that through break transition, and you're really in a great spot. Now, how about the click and close ability, right? He's got inside leverage here, so he's ready to drive on that type of route. And when he does, he goes, and it's a pass breakup, right? I do think the closing speed and closing burst is underrated, right? Bottom of your screen, a little tougher to see, but he closes in a hurry, makes a really nice tackle there, limits the yards after the catch. And then here, again, just good in transition, right? Stays in phase and challenges the catch point once again. And here, right, a little bit of a switch release off the line of scrimmage, really sudden changing direction at the top of this, and then quick close. Like, this one almost is just a great read from Amos of like, just understanding and seeing when the receiver is going to kind of break down to change direction, and he is just right there to make the play. I think that is even more processing than it is, the transitional quicks and all of that. And I think as well, when you see him, work to close on these in breakers, he does a great job again with the closing burst there, driving on these in breaking routes. Staying patient, but when he goes, and he is able to close space in a hurry. And again, we go back to a little more of like just ball production, challenging the catch point. I think he does a tremendous job of that. That's a pass breakup right there. You can see ball on the ground. And then just kind of putting it all together a little bit of like initiate that two-handed jam and press, stay in phase on this basic route, this dig route over the middle. And then even though the receiver gets hands on the ball first, the ability to fight and continue to challenge the catch point is really what turns that one into a pass breakup. Just the effort and the will of not being denied at the catch point. And then again, with some work in sort of handling the in and out coverage, where you have the outside guy, no matter what, you're passing him off, the guy that you have to, the defender to your inside, and just be in good position, again, for a pass breakup. Like his ability to pass off routes is really good. He understands all of those principles. And again, staying in the hip pocket on a vertical route off of that as well. And again, just understanding also, like, okay, I need to drive on this route, but also if the safety is going to take this, I need to work back down the field. And so that coverage awareness and understanding is so good of like, all right, I have a zone on this side of the field. Just wait for in breakers and poach routes over the middle of the field. I think he's going to be really exceptional there, and maybe take advantage of QBs who are maybe late to their reads. It's a similar thing here where the guy's breaking across the field, the safety's going to squat on it, so Amos knows, okay, I need to work back towards this deeper route down the field. So all of that is so good. And then, when he's in a good position, he'll peel off routes. He knows when he's going to pass things off to the safety or a linebacker, what have you, and get in position to make plays. And it's a similar thing here where, receiver's going to run kind of towards the middle of the field, hopefully going to open things up for this wheel route, and Amos is just ready. He's peeling off. He's in a good position. Doesn't get the feet down, but again, the process is exceptional there. And a similar thing, right? Pass this off to the defender on the inside. Get your eyes back, to crossers coming into your zone. He does so, closes quickly, and turns the ball over. Just a phenomenal rep again. And then you got the tight end running a wheel route off of this as well, and he's just in great position because he's understanding of the route concept. He reads it out. He knows where he needs to be. He knows the principles of the coverage. All of that is so good from him. And then, there's a little bit of run defense to his game too. You want to see him tackle. You want to see him be physical. And here, just maintaining leverage where he needs to, right? Running back's not going to win the corner here. I've got help back to the inside. Let my teammates come and take care of that while I maintain that leverage. And he has no problem fitting the run. Now, you'd like to see him kind of wrap up a little bit more, but he will stick his shoulder in there with no problem and help things out in that regard as well. And I love the effort on this, right? It's a missed tackle initially, but he gets back up and love the hustle to go make that tackle to prevent a first down. Now, I do think the one area, the biggest for me with Trey Amos, is the transition back towards the line of scrimmage on the vertical plane. I think that's where he struggles the most, of like, especially when he's turning and running and trying to stay in phase with guys, is maybe the biggest critique of his game at this point, where it's just not always the cleanest and is a little slow to get back downhill. But otherwise, when you talk about understanding coverage, where he needs to be, no matter what the coverage is, if it's man, if it's quarters, if it's cover 2, if it's cover 3, you can tell he's in the right position so much of the time. And then the closing burst and speed is really nice to have to carry vertical routes and drive on routes over the middle of the field. And the ball skills to boot, right? He has all of it. And I think the Washington Commanders have a potential star on their hands here in Trey Amos. So hope you guys enjoyed this video on Trey Amos. If you did, throw a like on there. Subscribe if you're new. Plenty more post-draft content on the way very, very soon. I will catch you guys in the next video. Farewell.